Let's get ready to remake! I am Mike McG from YouTube's Mike McG TV. Rosebud. And the Three Geeks podcast and I officially welcome you to the ultimate movie nerd and fan competition.
Get away from her, you bitch!
Prepare for the remake revolution.
Here we go.
Teams battle it out for geeky dominance as their movie reboot and remake ideas face judgment. Each team's idea lives and dies by 4 specific categories. They are story pitch.
I'll be back.
Writers and directors.
I am Iron Man.
Casting.
I am the father.
And marketing.
You are tearing me apart, Lisa!
When all is said and done,
One shall stand, one shall fall.
There can be only one.
and the world shall know whose remake is truly revolutionary. The remake revolution begins now.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Remake Revolution. I know we've done 1 or 2 of these on our live show a few times this year, but for the most part, we've been pretty quiet. So I wanted to get 2 great teams together and reboot Remake Revolution. One of these teams can make it, so I've got Team 3 Geeks here to take on Some Nobodies. And I am excited about this. Anything Dylan and Zach do is just usually entertaining, completely awesome, and I want you guys to take a second and tell the world about your PowerPoint show because I think it's absolutely amazing.
Who's going to talk?
I'll go first since usually Dylan talks, so I'll go first this time. PowerPoint Showdown was the show that actually Dylan pitched to me, and it's just based around the idea of doing blind presentations. So what we do is I do 2 8-slide presentations. Dylan makes 2 8-slide presentations, and then we have a guest on. So we always alternate. So no one knows what the slides are going to be. They just know what the presentation they have to deliver is. So it's seeing these slides for the first time and trying to react to it while also trying to not react to it. It's a pretty clever show, if I have to say so myself. We have a lot of fun with it. So yeah, if you want to see the episodes, Jason's should be coming out in a couple weeks. But yeah, you can find it all on our YouTube channel, which is just at Some Nobodies. Yeah, it's a cool show, and I'm glad people like it. I'm glad you like it, Jason. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. You guys are climbing up in those numbers on YouTube, though. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I mean, like I said, we kind of hit a little bit of weird, comedy gold with this one. So I'm glad people like it. I like it. So
a lot of fun. I've been pitching it to my guys. You guys gotta get on Zach's good side and get him to like you.
That was the exact
get him to like you. Yeah,
he's like, hey, for the love of God, get on this show.
Yeah, please get on Zach's side. I wish anyone ever said that. That'd be great.
Become somebody so you can be on Some Nobodies.
Yeah, you gotta be a somebody before you can be a nobody.
Justin, Dan, how you guys doing?
Good. I mean, I don't have a PowerPoint show.
I don't. I'm doing well. I mean, were we supposed to bring PowerPoint presentations to this?
That would have been fun. No, we didn't do that.
Well, we have some prepared, so I'm sorry, you guys.
Oh, damn!
I'm surprised. It was quite the pivot.
All right, so these 2 teams are gonna take turns pitching their version of Firefly. I didn't set the tone that it had to be a TV or a movie. It's just Firefly is given to you to do something with, and what are you going to do with it? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull 2 teams off the screen, keep the one team off the screen, keep 1 team on the screen, and we are going to hear about their pitches. And I am going to start with the guests, Some Nobodies, Dan and Justin. I'm going to throw you guys in the waiting room. It's all about the plot of Firefly.
Glad to. So we're going to start. This is a similar universe to what the TV show was. We're about a decade after the Unification War, Browncoats rebelled against the Alliance, different star system, stuff like that. The Firefly is the Serenity is a Firefly class smuggling ship under black market contract with an independent, sympathetic Alliance person. They are stealing a load of medical supplies, which are allegedly going to be delivered to an independent settlement on the outskirts of the system. See a heist. It's cool. Goes off without a hitch. We get the team dynamics. Mal, hot-headed and brash, but knows what he's doing. Simon thinks he's the smartest person in the room. Whether he's right or not, he usually is, but he doesn't know if he's wrong, and that causes problems. Kaylee, she's an incredibly skilled mechanic, easily flustered by social situations, crushing hard on Simon Tam, who's a doctor. River, girl, Simon's younger brother. Weird, probably psychic. Serious anger issues which cause trouble. Zoe is the first mate. She's no nonsense, very competent. Her husband, Wash, is one hell of a pilot. He's kind of goofy, kind of irreverent, but he's very good at what he does. Inara, she is a courtesan, which is, social companion, escort, so to say. She's a social monster. She keeps all the guards distracted. And then Book is a former shepherd who's a priest. He has Alliance background, so he knows all of the bypasses and stuff like that. Team dynamic, everybody has something to do. They get the medical crates, back to it. River gets a psychic headache when they get the crate, brushes it off, but it almost blows her cover. They get out, we get a chase, neon, rain-soaked cityscape on like a sci-fi planet. It's great. We all love it. Aesthetic with all the spaces in between all the letters. They hand off all the medical supplies. I forgot to mention Jane. He's the muscle. Very little else going on with Jane, but he's very funny and very, brusque. They get paid. They enjoy spending their money in a bar. We get a bar fight. More crew dynamic. They get a new job, which is to deliver the medical supplies to the independent settlement. They do that running an Alliance blockade, either running it through piloting skills when their social charisma fails, and they get to the planet of Santo. Along the way, they meet up with an old Alliance war captain that knew Mal and Zoe when they were revolutionaries, so we get a little bit of butting heads, and it's like, well, the war's over, and it's like, really? Is it? Are you sure about that? Establish that the universe is still at odds with each other, even though it's officially unified. They land at a city called Prominence, a little moderately sized town, very, very Wild West, very deserty scrubland, stuff like that. The governor is an old independence general who Mal dislikes for his extremist methods during the Unification War. Town's local leaders, they introduce themselves to the crew. Crew gets to unwind a little bit while the governor takes the medical supply crate somewhere else. It's shady. That building, that's for my people. Don't go in there. Don't worry about it. Here's your money. Meanwhile, the Alliance tries to strong arm the town. We get some Seventh Samurai / Magnificent Seven action where they help the independents come up. Mal has to face his reluctance to get back into a fight because he's not an idealist anymore because the Browncoats got beaten so handily. They deal with that. Meanwhile, they notice that the governor's second hand is in the fight, and she's like a real melee monster. She gets shot a bunch, and she's still up, and she gets really mad. And River, in particular, has a very strong reaction to seeing her. They have a really hard time fighting the Alliance off, but they succeed, and they realize that a certain group of people have had a really easy time shrugging off their injuries. They're like, this is weird. It obviously has something to do with the medical supplies we just delivered. They break into the complex. It's another heist. Turns out the cargo was a combat drug, which is codenamed Reaver, which enhances your physical ability, gives you minor psychic abilities, but also causes you to go unstable and insane unless it's maintained in strict dosage. They confront the governor. Governor's like, yeah, we're going to make super soldiers so the independents can fight back. The Alliance did this back then. I don't see why we can't do it now. Unfortunately, because the two Alliance and the independent guy were working together, they can't get a message out. So they raise a revolution inside the town, fight off the mayor, fight off the Alliance, make Prominence the town independent truly. And interesting, the Reaver formula is gone in all the chaos. That's weird, but at least the town is independent. Everybody worked together. The Alliance soldiers and the street, like villagers, came to see their differences weren't so different, and they were unified. Cool. Message delivered. They go back to Londinium or whatever planet they were on at the start where they first got the job, confront Badger who gave them the job, and they do that back and forth where it's clear they both know the other person knows that they know. But because they are so deep in the gray market for jobs, they're all like, we'll see you. He goes, oh, you will. They get back on the Serenity. They all have dinner together. It's a very nice moment where all the crew gets back together and everybody's kind of relaxes. River gets a psychic headache. Credits. Little stinger at the end is that you see a blue-gloved hand pick up a vial of orange drug marked codename Reaver, puts it back in a case, zooms out. Long rows of it in a dark warehouse. Movie's over.
Good job. You're muted, Jason.
That was really good. You guys should pitch that to Disney because I want to see that movie.
Okay.
Absolutely want to see that. That's fantastic. I don't really have any questions because you guys didn't really leave any room for questions.
It's the origin story of the Reavers in the Marvel Universe. Great.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and take Dylan and Zach away and let
job,
Dan
guys.
and Justin tell us all about their ideas. Take it away, boys.
So, Firefly. We're making this into a TV show. We are rebooting the entire thing. We are expanding the universe to. It's still going to be the same basic setting. The war has happened. The ship was actually stolen by our crew from the Territorial Acquisitions of Xeno Assets Group, TAX for short, who are now chasing them to get their ship back. We are also adding a couple alien races, one of which is the chlorophopods that are a amalgamation of a tree body and a squid torso and head. So they just like they are in terms of this series, they're like galactic gangsters, and the crew owe them money, so they are also chasing the crew. We want a different tone. We're going to keep the whole space western idea, but we're going to make it into a comedy. And every show will be bookended by the ship AI giving you a lesson and then showing how the crew totally demolishes that lesson and then being kind of like meh about it at the end. It's going to have a relatively large budget. There's going to be lots of spaceships. It's going to be a great space opera, but we want it to be more comedic, like a dark comedy.
Yeah, each episode's going to have its own storyline, so we don't have like an overarching story like a movie would, but each one's going to have an independent story.
Okay. Is it? You guys said comedy, no laugh track. I'm assuming.
No.
Live studio audience in space. A lot of.
No, that's not happening. Yes.
So CBS is out of it for you guys. No CBS.
Cool.
Do they still have laugh tracks?
CBS. They claim they're filmed in front of a live studio
Oh
audience.
wow.
Mhm.
That's
Sure.
lame as hell.
Yeah, I believe it.
Good pitch, guys. I like it. I like the idea of Firefly being a TV show again. I actually really like the idea of the movie and the TV show working together to continue Firefly, but I won't give too much of my thoughts so far. But Dylan, Zach, Dan, or Justin, you guys have any questions for each other?
No, it's a solid pitch.
I think so, yeah.
I like theirs too. Yeah. Good.
Nice. Usually, I have a few other people on here to chat with and ask questions, but I don't have any questions. You guys are doing a good job of pitching it to one another. I'm going to go back to just Justin and Dan and find out who they got for writer and director.
All right, sure. So director, since Dan just did our pitch, I'll kind of walk through, and Dan can help me with the writer's name because I'm going to butcher it. But, director Taika Waititi, just because of his balance for Thor Ragnarok and being on different TV shows, we think he could really balance between kind of the comedy aspect of the show as well as the hard-hitting space, sci-fi, fantasy aspects of it as well.
Well, man, the Hollywood is agreeing with you because Taika Waititi is doing Star Wars next. He's been doing Marvel.
Yeah, he's everywhere. He's doing great.
Yeah.
And then, can you tell the writer, Dan?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I butchered his name.
Written by Michael Moorcock, who is not a Hollywood writer per se, but did do the probably best known for the Eternal Champions books, which are Elric of Melniboné and Jerry Cornelius. He is a fantasy sci-fi writer, pretty dark and bleak. We think that together, these guys can make a nice dark comedy.
What are you doing in the shadows type of deal, or what's that pirate show you're watching a lot, Dan? I'm spacing.
Our Flag Means Death.
Yeah, something like that.
Not a bad pick. Like a Taika Waititi, you can't go wrong with him in space because he's done such a good job with that so far.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
That's our writer director.
Awesome. I'm pulling Some Nobodies up here to give us theirs.
All right, Dylan, I'll take this one if that's
got
okay. All right, so we weren't really sure where to put this in because it was kind of a part of a marketing strategy, but we're going to throw it in now because it also ties into this. Now, we were going to have a movie that is Firefly, that very similar to the other group. We were actually going to have an HBO series spinoff, an 8-episode based on that. Now, the writer-director of the movie, we were going to have Edgar Wright, based on his team dynamic, his ability to do high-functioning action, as well as just, serious grounded comedy. Now, as far as the director for the series on HBO Max, we were going to have the showrunner being Bryce Dallas Howard, because we saw that, her eye with the Mandalorian, as well as, even in Boba Fett, it's a beautiful eye and great action, great pacing. So she was going to be the showrunner and then have a rotating cast of directors similar to the Mandalorian after that. But mostly it was all set on what Edgar Wright set up and delivered as far as writing and directing goes.
Nice.
Dylan.
I didn't know if this was a time to mention composer.
Not yet. I think that's cast.
Okay, cool.
But the composer's usually tiebreaker.
Okay.
But I could see Edgar Wright taking over like any of Whedon's projects.
Mhm.
Firefly definitely being, I like that pick. That's a good pick. That's up there with Taika Waititi for sure. Like they're pretty much neck to neck as far as who could really take over this tone. But awesome, guys. I'm liking this game so far. Fantastic. It's a lot closer than you would think, and everybody is doing a great job.
It's been a minute since I've heard someone name drop Michael Moorcock. I didn't know he was still alive or writing.
He is. I
choice.
checked.
He's
like
writing?
82, but he's still kicking.
senile. He's just writing words on a piece of paper.
He's got a typewriter. He can do it.
Nice. Yeah, he's made some movies too. Nice. Yeah, so what is next? We have the cast, and I cannot wait to see who's going to step into these very large shoes left by the cast of the original Firefly. Some Nobodies, you guys are going to go up first. Dan and Justin will be in the wings hanging out. What is your guys' cast?
You want me to take this one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Cool. So we wanted people who could believably work charismatically together. We wanted people who are kind of up and coming without being too big, so that way they could potentially be signed on for a franchise. So for Mal, person we thought would be Lakeith Stanfield. That dude is charismatic. He does bravado and swagger very well. And when he needs to get like acting, he's very good at getting acting. For Zoe Washburn, we said Florence Pugh because she's in right now. And talk about like action, like strong woman, like that sort of thing. She's pretty good at that. For Wash, we're thinking Donald Glover, based partially on his performance in Solo and everything. Like he's also very good at simultaneously being sincere while also not being too serious, and that's kind of how we imagined Wash would handle. Inara Sarah would be played by Phoebe Waller-Bridge from Fleabag. drawing on her Fleabag experience to kind of like bring a different kind of edge to the idea of a courtesan.
Mhm.
Jane Cobb, the muscle, is played by Jared Kiso of Letterkenny. He's big, he knows how to pretend to fight, and he can deliver his lines with a very convincing kind of like backwoods down-homeness. And that's kind of how Jane is. Jane is very into fighting and not a whole lot else. And I think Jared Kiso would be very good at that. Dr. Simon Tam is Barry Keoghan, however you want to pronounce it. He would bring a sort of not disconnect, but a very kind of aloftness to Simon, a separation. And then the only choice we could think of for River Tam would be Daphne Keane, playing a young girl with superpowers and anger issues. And Shepard Book is played by Idris Elba as the wise mentor figure of the crew. Other bit parts, Badger would be played by someone like Bill Hader. The Alliance Commander or the Independence General would be Titus Welliver from Bosch. And I think those were the main roles that we had planned out. So relatively young, very charismatic, and just kind of ready to like lend character to these characters.
Yeah, we didn't want anyone too big. That way, moving over to the series would still work for them because not every actor would want to be in a series versus still being in the movie. So, yep.
Nice. All right, Team 3 Geeks. Let's see what we got going on with you guys. Who is your cast?
I'd like to preface this by saying that all of our big actors want to be here on this series. So, for the captain, we've got Sam Rockwell. For Wash, we've got Nick Frost from, Hot Fuzz, all those.
Oh, I love Nick Frost.
For, yeah, I didn't have the name of the characters, so this is.
It's all good. I can help if you want, but
okay. For the psychic girl,
what is that? Zoe.
Which one? I think
no. You say the actor, I'll say the character's name. Go ahead.
Maisie Williams.
Maisie. That would be River Tam.
Okay. I just had Alien Kung Fu Lady.
Awesome.
That was going to be Kara Gee from the Expanse because she's an awesome actress and she needs more work.
That's Zoe.
Yeah. Okay. For Book, I've got Keanu Reeves. For Jane, is that the?
Yeah, the mercenary. Yep.
Okay, yeah, it's John Barenthal. For Kaylee, got
Can't protect him, Mal.
See,
bring in the Punisher.
For Kaylee, we've got Chloe Grace Moretz. For Simon Tan,
yep,
the Doctor, Anthony Stewart Head. And if you're wondering about the brother and sister relation, she's going to be a clone that he made because he was lonely. The companion is Zoe Saldana, and the one of the most important cast characters is the computer AI, which since the whole Chinese American meld in technology is going to be Ke Huy Quan.
Short round.
Yes.
Nice. Yeah, he's riding that wave of a comeback right now. I'm really digging.
The evil tax captain that's chasing them is going to be Shora Ogdashlu, which you know her voice, JT. And the head tree squid captain is voiced by Mark Hamill.
Because the way we have those guys set up is it's all mental, so we can have different variations of his voices happening in your head, where they're across the different species or the race.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wow, I really like that. Okay, pull everybody back up on screen. Everybody. Ooh, Dylan's got a question.
I forgot to list our Kaylee casting, the mechanic. Maisie Williams as well. Yeah. So
Nailed it.
It's
a wash.
Perfect.
So it's a wash.
No, Nick Frost is our wash.
Oh, right. Okay.
Nice. Yeah, let's go into marketing. I'm just going to leave us all on screen for this one.
Yeah, do that.
Dan and Justin, what is your guys' marketing campaign behind Firefly?
Hold on, let me find it.
Oh,
Well,
okay, go ahead.
Oh, do you want to go? Go.
I'm indifferent. You can go ahead if you want to.
Okay, just help me out if I forget anything.
Yeah.
So, seeing as we're bringing another alien race that looks so fun, we're we're going to partner with a national
garden train, right? Just
garden thing, yes,
like
yes.
home and garden thing.
To sell
Shrubbery for days. Yep.
Squid shrubberies. Also, since the plant patties are so prominent now, we have TGI Fridays and Fuddruckers in a marketing deal to sell pod patty hamburgers.
Is Fuddrucker still in business?
I believe so.
There's one in Delaware.
There you go.
Just the lone restaurant.
Just the one.
Just
Yeah.
bitching around.
Yeah.
Movie.
Of course, we're also going to do a toy line and a tabletop RPG and several mobile games.
I think Plants vs. Zombies. I think that's where my mind went.
Our biggest thing, especially for going into season 2, is we're going to have a massive contest in which you send in things you want short round to say over the PA, and the winners get their stuff voiced.
Nice. I got to ask a question because in Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, and Goonies, he's also sporting a fanny pack. Does he sport a fanny pack in this as well?
He would only show up in like a holographic projection.
Mhm.
But sure, we can do that.
I'm sure we can sprinkle that in. 100%.
Yeah.
Just asking. It seems to be his trademark, having a fanny pack. So,
Huh.
all right. Some Nobodies. What is your marketing campaign?
Yeah, so we were thinking first we wanted to reboot the tabletop role-playing game that they had, based on the old one, obviously. But that's clearly the same thing that they had. We were also, based on who our composer was, we were going to have a vinyl pressing of the soundtrack / score to make sure that the audience who this might not get to every day, to make sure that audience saw the commercials, we were going to have 30 to 60 second tie-ins on HBO Max that were similar to Starship Troopers style, in universe, kind of looking for these outlaws. That way people would have to kind of search for it. One of the bigger things we were thinking, because our series was going to be on HBO Max, who is Warner Brothers, we were going to have an in-universe inside the park of all the Six Flags. That way you could go through and be like on the deserty, outlaw-y thing, and then there'd be obviously brown coats running through that would tie into the ongoing series at the time. We also wanted to tie in with Loot Crate and give people special, the money that was in universe money that you could scan to get you the same, app game that would be the role-playing version on cell phone digital. I think that was pretty much all we had for that, right?
A Lego model of this new Serenity design.
Oh, yeah, obviously. Yeah, obviously.
You guys had one other thing. I'll go ahead and
Zach?
I'll go ahead and throw it out.
Really? In the back? What you think, Begworth? Nah, you wouldn't do that. Quick draw. That love is a dead man walking. you don't have to leave. Get on your horse, get your shit, go back to whatever it is you call home. Countdown for VOD. Five. 4. 3. buckle up, baby.
I didn't know we were making trailers. You guys
Yeah,
killed
really.
me. That was sweet.
I do have a request though. Can you have Jared Kesso play the one hockey player with the high pitched voice from Letterkenny the whole time?
Yeah.
I forget his name. It's like Chansey or something.
Yeah. Also that. Yeah.
In addition to.
Yeah.
Nice. Very, very cool. I have my little tallies over here that I've been making and notes that I've been making. So for the plot, I really liked both plots a lot. Very in depth. But I went with Some Nobodies on the plot for this one. It's fascinating to start Firefly as a movie to me and then go into a TV show. That's something that it's kind of the opposite of what they had done prior, and we live in that world right now where a lot of that is happening. For director and writer, this is a tie. I went with Edgar Wright and Michael Moorcock as the team for this one because I like the idea of getting somebody so in tune with sci-fi and world building and so forth, and then somebody like Edgar Wright bringing the comedy that we know from the series. Taika Waititi would be fantastic, but he's busy. He's got a lot of things going on, and we all
in this universe that wouldn't be a problem.
Michael Moorcock will only work with Taika Waititi.
He has said that.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
fair.
It was in the news.
Quoted on several occasions.
Yep.
For the cast, I went with the Three Geeks.
Well, keep in mind that Zoe Saldana is very busy doing 5 avatars, and I do not think no matter who you have
She's
as your
had
writer,
12 years.
no matter who your writer is, you're not going to turn down Avatar money. So,
Yeah, she's doing a lot too. But no, it was Edgar Wright that really sold. Not Edgar Wright. I'm sorry. It was Nick Frost that really sold it for me. I recently watched him on Why Women Kill, and I thought he was just absolutely fantastic. And you could see like he can bring another side to the character, and I really want to see that. And with Edgar Wright being the director, it really makes sense to have Nick Frost in that role. For the marketing, I have to give it to Some Nobodies. I really like that trailer you guys put together, even though I didn't go with your cast. So the trailer doesn't make a whole lot of sense with this pitch, but I thought it was really good. I do want to play the games that Dan was talking about, especially a Plants vs. Zombies Firefly. Justin, that sounds awesome. But Some Nobodies wins, but it was really close. Like both pitches were fantastic. Firefly is a really hard thing to do differently, and the similarities were there, but you guys all did such a unique pitch with it that I agree with the more comedy tone. I think Edgar Wright can bring that with that cast. And then so Some Nobodies wins, but it was really, really close.
So
Well
I gotta
thought.
ask, who was your composer?
Darren Korb, the composer for Supergiant Games. He did Hades. He did Bastion.
Oh, Hades
does a-
is so good.
Yeah,
He does a lot of instrumental kind of like Western twang with electronic influence. So
Yeah, that was actually the song
Yeah.
that I played on the
Mhm.
trailer. Was his.
Yeah.
I knew I recognized it. I was like,
Mhm.
I've heard this before.
Yeah, we went with Joe Bonamassa writing everything.
okay,
That'd be awesome.
cool.
Yeah, right on. Hey, but honestly, your guy sounds great.
Yeah.
What? You should see like Dylan and I have a little thread, and he's like, "Oh, Michael Moorcock, Taika Waititi." So no, you guys did a great job.
Did you guys really suggest Michael Moorcock to each other?
No,
talking about-
once they said it, Dylan's like, "Wow, that's a deep cut." So yeah, so no, you guys got props in his nerd eyes.
I
Thank
think
you.
Dan and Dylan would get along very, very well.
Yeah.
Well, you listed I caught at least 2 cast members of The Expanse in yours, and I'm like, yeah, I had a really hard time not just being like, you should just watch The Expanse.
Yeah, yeah. That's our reboot for Firefly. It's The Expanse.
Yeah.
The Expanse
It's
seasons
there.
8, 7, 8, and 9. Come on.
Yeah.
To tell you the
That
truth, I hate Firefly now. It's just like the show is fine. It's just all the fans just piss me off so much that I just don't care anymore.
It gets rebooted, or every week there's a news
Yeah.
that the second season's coming. Just reboot it at this point. I'm sure Disney's going to.
Mm-hmm.
Once Edgar Wright gets his hands on it, just wait.
That's right.
Yeah. There you go.
Yes, but I want to thank everybody for tuning in, and as I always say at the end of these things, love your neighbor. It's easier to get along than it is to hate each other. So just get along. If you don't agree with somebody for political reasons or personal reasons, either have a conversation, a nice conversation, and try to see each other's point of view, or just don't talk about it, because what they do in the privacy of their own home is none of your damn business. So I wanted to express that, and from everybody at 3 Geeks Podcast, I want everybody to have a great day, and as Max says, recycle your droids.